Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in for a Sunday sermon. You know, something that's been on my heart all week. And I remember saying to myself a long time ago, don't dim your light. And I've struggled with that all my life because I've always been the type to dim my light. I've always been the type to want to turn down so others don't have to feel inadequate or insecure. And I remember a long time ago, I started trying to build myself up and speak life into myself. And I was talking to my son about this the other day because, you know, he's training really hard and he's going to practice. And in 99% of the races, the drills, he's coming in first. And I said, son, listen, you're going to have a target on your back, but don't feel sorry for anybody. You earned that. And I was talking to myself thinking that he may struggle with what I used to struggle with. And he said, Dad, I work hard to be where I am. So I'm not going to slack or let anybody beat me because I feel sorry for them. They're going to have to earn it. And I needed to hear that too. Because what you have to realize is that we all have unique gifts. And the gift that you have, your sister may not have. Your brother may not have. If you don't have siblings, your mother, your father, your best friend, your coworker, your neighbor, your spouse may not have the gift that you have. And my wife and I was talking last night, and I was telling her about a crazy, insane gift that she has, and why I just stay out the way and I let her do her thing because that's her gift. So I don't try to overstep my boundaries. I parent the way I can parent, but I realize she's a master in certain areas. And instead of me being jealous and saying, "Oh, I'm the man," you know, let me come in here and let me train my son. You know, I'm the man supposed to train the son. She's better at it than me. And that's her gift. And she just has a knack for it. She got a mind for it. And your own spouse may not have your gift. What I do, my wife cannot do. She cannot begin to fathom doing what I do. But in some relationships, one spouse may be jealous of the other one and want to take over and control. The same thing in your life. I look around and I've just been I've been a blessing to my family, you know, in a very large way. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to hide my blessings. I'm not going to hide my abilities. I'm not going to hide what God is doing in my life. And my wife, she'll say something sometimes, like she'll be like, hey, you know, well, what you think they're going to think about that? And I say, you know what? At this point, I really do not care. And because God is showing me that what he does in you, what he does with your gifts, what you take and do with your gifts, that is the testimony. That's the testament. That is the ministry. So if you turning all your gifts down, if you turning down opportunities because you don't want to offend somebody, because you don't want to leave somebody behind, then that is going to hurt your ministry. And I remember a lot of times your witness, your message, it's gonna hurt it. And I remember how I would always be, as soon as I get a foot in the door, I'm trying to bring somebody else in the door. Or something happened in my life, I'm trying to do for other people and bring everybody up to the level that God has put me on. And my wife, she said to me one time, she said, listen, God can bless anybody he want to bless. But not everything that he gives you is for everybody else. And when you look into these people's lives who may not have what you have, or may not be doing what you're doing, or may not be at that level in their life yet, and it's because they are not at that level in their growth. So if you stop smoking and your friend still smoking, you're going to get opportunities and chances that they're not going to get, because now you done changed your life. You look different. You look healthier. Your teeth getting whiter. So now you look like you more polished and established. So the boss want to give you a raise. The person that's bidding on the contract, they want to give it to you. Or got to do the hiring, they want to bless you because of how you present yourself, how you carry yourself. You've worked on your mind. You worked on your heart. You worked on your spirit. So you're going to attract different people into your life. You're going to attract different opportunities into your life. And one thing that I had to learn, and that I'm still learning, is that everybody can't go. Everybody can't fit in your space. Everybody does not have authorization. See, you got your own independent, unique fingerprint. And you know how they have those doors where you got to put your print on it? You know how your phone got the Face ID? Everybody cannot unlock the doors that you can unlock. Everybody does not have access to the levels that you will be granted access to. And I had to come to a place in my life and realize that, because it was opportunities that I was getting that people right next to me were not getting. And it came to me that God maybe wanted me to see something or to experience something that I needed for the next level that the person beside me was not ready for. And we don't oftentimes realize that, because we want to drag everybody in with us. We want everybody to be able to go in with us. So listen, while you working and while you're toiling in the field and you doing the work, but people right next to you don't want to do the work, what sense does it make for them to be able to eat from your table when they able-bodied but unwilling to work? See, and we got to realize that. And so what this means is there will come a place and time in your life where there will be separation from certain friends. Not every friend. This don't mean you got to be isolated. This don't mean you got to be alone. But there will be separation from certain friends. There will be separation from certain family members. There will be separation from certain co-workers. It will be people in your life that cannot go into certain seasons of your life because they have not done the work to grow, and they will derail or disrupt the opportunity and the blessing that you got right before you. See, you could bring somebody else into your season and they can ruin your harvest because of what they have done or what they will say or what they will do. And you're trying to lift everybody up. You're trying to bring everybody along, but people come to a place where they have to make a choice for themselves. And if they don't make that choice for themselves, you got to be willing to get distance. You got to be willing to separate yourself from the crowd. You got to be willing to let go. Friends, family, whoever it may be, you got to be willing to go alone in that season or for that time period if you have to. And then guess what? They may see you walking alone, and then they may make a decision to get right, to change their life, and to meet you there, to catch up with you, so that now they can build with you. Now they can be with you. Now y'all can reap the benefits. And I see it in my own family, in my own life. And I always use my little sister as an example. And she knows it. She know how I am. I teach from real life. I ain't just grabbing stuff, out the sky. And she growing, she changing her financial situation. So now it's some conversations that we can have that we couldn't have before. Changing her relationship situation. So now it's conversations we can have that we couldn't have before. So now certain blessings that I have access to, I can invite her in on those blessings because she done got certain people out of her life. But it's certain circles or certain doors that I might go in that I couldn't even bring my only one blood sibling into because of who's in her life. But that's a part of it. Life happens in seasons. Hey, I ain't forgot you. Hey, I still love you, but I'm in a different season. When you get this lesson that I got, you gonna understand. Then we're gonna be able to talk about this harvest. And that's a conversation that you may have to have with your mother, with your father, with your sibling, with your close friend, with your coworker, with your neighbor. That's a conversation you may have to have. And not everybody gonna like it. Not everybody gonna like it. But you have to make sure that you're not carrying people who are able-bodied and can climb themselves, because you're hurting yourself. And see, when you picture this now, picture climbing up the side of a mountain, climbing a ladder, climbing anything. Picture climbing, and then picture having an adult who is not handicapped on your back, and you're carrying them. And picture those days that you don't feel like getting out of bed. You don't feel like going to work. You don't feel like doing what you need to do. The days when you tired, the days when you're injured, the days when your heart is hurting, and yet you got this heavy, able-bodied adult on your back. Might not even be on your back, might be on your shirt tail. Just pull it on your shirt tail. You're going to get to a certain place the way you starting to fall backwards because you so tired, you so weak, you so exhausted, and the people that you letting hold on to you, they weight pulling you down, and now you falling off the side of the mountain. Imagine being in a current and you trying to swim, and somebody who could swim say, hey, I'm just going to hold on the back of you, hold your shoulders while you trying to swim. You'll end up drowning. You'll end up falling off because you got people holding on to you spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, any kind of way. You got people holding on to you that can do for themselves, but would rather ride your coattail, would rather let you get your gifts, let your gifts open the door and them squeeze in with you. Hey, you know what? You know how to cook, and you prompt, and you do all the settings, and you got the shirts, you spent the money on the shirts, on the nice chef hat. You know how to run the catering business. So I'm gonna let your people skills, and you handing out cards, and you networking, you get us the catering job, and then hey, I'm gonna come and work with you. And you pay me 50%. But you went out and invested your hard-earned money from your day job to get the logo, to get the LLC, to get the website, to get the t-shirts, to get the business cards. You went to the networking events, took your deep breath, gathered yourself, and went and passed out business cards. Now you got the opportunity, and now your cousin, your sister, your brother, your mama, your daddy want to get in on the opportunity with you. Now the job finna pay you $2,000, and they expecting you to give them $1,000 when you did all the work. See, look, everybody can't go. Everybody cannot receive every blessing that's for you. See, some people got to watch you shine so that they can then be interested in seeing your grind. And see, when they start to see your grind and they see that you toiling in the field, when they see that you working your finger to the bone, when they see that you sacrificing, when they see your prayer life, they see the way you live your life, they see you living a righteous lifestyle. Now they start to realize that's why you blessed, because you different. That's why you blessed, because you sacrifice. And I'm gonna tell you, Listen to me. It's things in life that money cannot buy. It's things in life that money can't buy. You know, love. Money can't buy real love. Your family. Money can't buy family. Money can't buy healthy children. Money can't buy well-behaved children. It's things in life that money cannot buy. So when you see a happy marriage, when you see good children, when you see a happy family, money didn't buy that. Money did not. Growth did that. Growth produced that. Responsibility produced that. Righteousness produced that. But see, when you have those things, when you're responsible, when you have integrity, when you have character, now those things are going to affect every aspect of your life. So not only will it affect your family life, it's going to affect your career. It's going to affect your business. And when it affects those areas, so in the family, in the home, you see a happy, healthy marriage. You see well-mannered children who are getting good grades in school and excelling in whatever activities they decide to be a part of. That's what you see. But then when it goes into your career, you see advancement. You see raises. You see promotions. If you got a business, you see more customers, more clients. You see more revenue. And listen to me. When you walking with God and you live in the way He has instructed you to live, the blessings that show up in your life, if you look at it through carnal eyes, like the people who watching you, is sickening. It is sickening. It literally make people sick to their stomach. And they will ask, how did she or did he get that blessed? How does it seem like everything going right? How does it seem like she has everything? How? God did it. God did it. But God. That's what it's going to look like. And people will be confused because your pain will look like praise. When you hurting, when you struggling, people won't be able to tell it because you have a peace that passes all understanding, because you understand from whence cometh your help. So when they ask you, do you struggle? Do you worry? You say, yeah, I have every feeling that you feel. Well, how do you deal with it? Let me show you this book I read. HOLYBIBLE. Let me introduce you to this God I know. Oh, they say he was a fairy tale. You believe that? Oh, they say that's a slave religion. You believe that? Well, let me ask you this. Since you got those interesting questions, you need to see something to believe it, don't you? Yeah, I need to see stuff to believe it. Well, you see my blessings, don't you? You see my peace. You see my poise. You see my prosperity. And this is what I'm telling you it comes from. It don't come from them other books that you talking about. Every book that you talking about that was written by man or woman on their own, it don't come from those books. It comes from this divinely inspired book. That is the #1 most distributed, most read, most printed book in the history of mankind. It comes from this book that then survived and stood the test of time. It comes from this book. So I know you wanted to hear that it come from meditation. Maybe you want to hear it come from this author or that author, or yoga, or waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I sleep till 9 or 10 a.m. some days, a lot of days. I know you want to hear it come from working out 3 times a week. I might work out 3 times a month, some months. The blessings, the poise, the peace, the grace, the favor, the mercy, the opportunities that abound comes from one place and one place only. And that's God and that Holy Bible. And I'm here to tell you, I cannot attest to anything else. I can't stamp man's book that this author and that author that you got an autograph from, that you went to their seminar. I can't attest to that. I'm telling you where it come from. And it comes from Jesus Christ sitting on the throne. Oh, you thought it was a slave religion? Oh, you thought it had you trapped and bound? See, I don't share and show everything because everything ain't for everybody. But if you really want to know what God can do and what the peace of God brings in your life, come on behind closed doors. Come on in my office and take a seat. Let's have a little talk. Let me help you understand some things. Let me help you how I got my life in line with this Holy Bible. Let me help you understand how I tapped into righteousness. And that since I've tapped into righteousness, I've never been in need. I've never been forsaken. I've never had to lean on and beg and need man when I started doing what I needed to do. I don't have anybody to blame. I don't have any excuses to make. I don't have any of that. All I see is results. I don't see mistakes. I see lessons. I don't see failure. I see blessings. I see opportunity. See, when your mindset shifts and you start to walk with the Lord, talk with the Lord, live for the Lord, things change. Because you realize that there's some things in this life that's bigger than you, that mean more to you and than you. You realize that you're a vessel and that your life is a ministry. It's a message. It's a witness. And listen, the God I serve will not allow you to be made a mockery of. People will see you and they will be confused. They won't even understand or believe in the God you serve or that you talk about. And I've had people check in, and in so many words they say, hey, I know you're a speaker. Well, how has life been that the world has been shut down and that you can't speak? See, they saw a title, but they didn't see the provider. See, the title don't provide. It's who I serve that provide. So when I got these few phone calls, I say, actually, this year, my business is up over 300%. What? How did that happen? Well, I was given this wisdom from God that was put on my heart in 2010 to move my business online and to start creating online so that I could be home with my family, so that I wouldn't have to be a slave to the dollar of a speaking engagement, so that I could be home and help my wife raise our sons, so that I wouldn't have to miss a baseball game, a soccer game, or a Christmas play, or recital, anything. but I could use my gifts, impact the world, and do it my way on my terms with the help of God. So in this year, when crisis hit, when a pandemic hit, when chaos came, God showed up and showed me clarity. He showed me the manifestation, the fruits of my labor. He showed me that the seeds you sowed, this is the year of harvest. When some may be experiencing famine, I'm here to let you know that what you heard was not a fairy tale. It was not a fantasy. It was not fake. It wasn't fake news that they called it. It ain't about race. This ain't a white man religion. This ain't a black man religion. This ain't even about religion. This is about relationship. And I'm here to tell you that I'm God and I sit on the throne. That you didn't create yourself. That it was not two planets that crashed into each other and had a combustion, and from that combustion dust fell on the earth and created something so fearfully and wonderfully designed as a human being. You wasn't created by happenstance, by mistake. That there is supernatural moving amongst you, and that there is a God, and that it is real. And I'm going to show you the evidence. The same way I sent my son to give his life. And in order for those that he got to believe, he had to show signs and wonders. See, I don't put my signs and wonders on billboard. But if you come in my vicinity, if you sit in my presence, if you look behind the scenes, you're going to see signs and wonders. I was on a call with an expert in Hollywood, and we were talking about one of my business ventures. And I say, so based on what you see from the outside looking in, where would you say my business is, that particular venture? He said, I would say it's about here, this number, that number. I said, okay. He said, that sound about right. That sound about right. I said, it sounds right in the industry, based on that industry. But for me personally, it's not right. He said, well, what is it? 40 times what you just said. Mine is 40 times that. My results is 40 times that, what you just said. He said, Tony, you got to get a screen grab of that. I said, I'll log into the back end and I'll show it to you. He said, Tony, pause right there on the screen. He said, let me do a screenshot. Let me do a screen grab. I said, go ahead. He needed evidence. But see, I already know who I serve. I already know what's operating. I already know how God works and how he moves. I already know. That's why you can't convince me otherwise. That's why your conspiracy theory, your hate mongering, your race baiting, everything that you want to use to take away from God. I don't question God. I don't get mad with God. Anybody could drop like flies around me and I'm not going to curse God because I lose a loved one, because I lost an opportunity, because I know the divine is at work and I know it's being divinely orchestrated and I can't control it. But I will always be granted grace, mercy, wisdom, peace in the midst of a storm, poise. When everything around me is chaotic, I'll find peace, a praise, and a poise. Hey, it's Tony Gaskins. God bless you. This might not be for you today, but maybe you got somebody that need to hear it. God bless you. We'll talk soon.